I guess first and foremost, Canada is my home. It's where I've grown up, where I've lived most of my life, and where I plan to live. And it has probably been one of the things that shaped my identity and who I am more than anything else other than my family and friends and stuff like that. But yeah, being Canadian has defined a lot of what I do and how I represent myself when I'm abroad, which comes to the interesting part of, the two parts of part one, how you represent Canada when you're abroad, which is pretty self-explanatory to what you do, and it creates and influences a lot of how people think Canadians when you do stuff abroad. And then secondly is how does Canada represent you when you're abroad? And yeah, I have found, because I've lived in the US because I'm going to school there currently in Minnesota at St. Olaf College, and I mean, I find, yeah, I do run into some stereotypes. You get the typical, everyone in Canada plays hockey, which, I do unfortunately uphold that standard, so I can't say that stereotype's completely wrong. But, like the other ones too, about what the weather's, it's always cold. Well, they can't complain in Minnesota about that either. But yeah, it's just a lot of typical stereotypical things we're all used to hearing. But the biggest stereotype of them all I've noticed is just lack of knowledge about anything to do with Canada, and especially if you ever ask them what our identity was, they really wouldn't know. And then trying to talk about it on here, so I realize even more that it's hard to define Canadian identity ourselves even. Like, it's just a really hard topic to deal with, and I don't know, I believe a lot of that has to do with how young of a country we are relatively to the rest of the world. I mean, and yeah, it's just that simple. We're young. I mean, a lot of the European countries and other countries have had a pretty steady population base for a long time now, and have developed, and everything's rooted in a long-standing tradition and history. And the US is a completely different system. They believe a lot more in assimilation into their culture. And in Canada, we have, the term cultural mosaic, where, we're a collection of a lot of different people with different backgrounds and identities, and we're ever changing and growing. And we're still an extremely vast, empty country with a lot of space, which is one of the things that defines Canada. But it's hard to define a country, though, that is just so broad in all ways. We're broad in our landscape, we're broad in our culture and our people and our language, and yeah, we're bilingual officially. But then again, just in the Vancouver area, how many centers do you see where there's areas where it's just signs in completely different languages that, I mean, I can't read, but so yeah, it's just, yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to, is it's hard to define a country that's that vast and broad in a sense of culture and all that. So what it means to me, so I guess what that means is that to be Canadian, you have to be tolerant and accepting of other cultures and other people. And I guess in a way that does somewhat improve some of our general stereotype of Canadians always being kind and friendly people, which doesn't make me mad at all. I'm proud of that stereotype, and I'm just proud of a lot of things being Canadian. But yeah, there's not much else to say. I can't think of anything else. I think that's it. If you can edit that. I hope that was a better run.